Hey guys, so I know it's kind of different in here. It's really dark and everything else. Oh my god. Today is whew, Wednesday, October 4th. This is going to be a story time. I had got a request to do this story time, and it is a story time on my teenage marriage. I had a subscriber comment on one of my old videos of like I had just got married and everything, and she had stated that she had got married young and she wanted my story on my young marriage. So, okay, where to start? Me and my husband, I met my husband when I was 18 years old. Um, Prior to that, I had just turned 18. I had just came back home from college and I wanted to find a job, and I really wanted a job. Um, I ended up finding a job, and it's crazy because I already knew of my husband. I had a really big crush on my husband when I was younger. So I've had a crush on him for a very long time, for like 6 years before I actually met him in person. And while I was away at college, one of my college buddies had him as a friend. And at the time, he was talking to her friend. And I was like, you should hook me up with him because he's cute. And I already have a crush on him, blah, blah, blah. But she had told me, I don't think that's a good idea. My friends talking to him and everything. And I'm just like, I don't know her. That has nothing to do with me. If they're not in a relationship, then free game for everybody, right? So I ended up getting my job at McDonald's. I started working, and I started working like October 3rd or whatever of 2013. Mind you, I had worked with that company before, but at a different location, McDonald's. But I had to quit because I was hospitalized for 3 days while in high school my senior year, and I was really sick, and they took me off the schedule, so I had to resign before I got fired because I couldn't show up, and nobody was reporting to the managers that I was calling in, telling them that I was in the hospital, whatever. So it just made it look like I did no calls, no shows. So I resigned, and they let me come back, but I just went to a different location. Um, so October 3rd, 2013, I started back working with that same company for different location McDonald's. And he came a week after me. So I can't believe I'm telling this story. It's so funny. But so my mom was dropping me off at work one day, and I had just turned 18 or whatever. My birthday's in June. So um I didn't at the time I didn't know, but his birthday had just passed as well. He had just turned 23. So my mom was dropping me off, and I seen him, and I was just like, "Is that who I think it is?" So I told my mom like, "That's gonna be my boo. That's gonna be my boo." Sorry, I have really bad indigestion right now. That's why I'm like kind of blushing a little bit, trying to catch my breath. If you guys didn't know, I am currently 17. No, I said 17. Jesus. I am currently 18 weeks and 4 days pregnant. So, yeah. Um, what's today? Yeah, today Wednesday. So, yeah, I'm like 4 days. 18 weeks and 4 days. But that's neither here nor there. So I told her, that's gonna be my boo and XYZ, blah blah blah. At this time, I was a smoker. And I had went up to him, and he was outside on break, and he was smoking. And I said, "Can I tap your black?" Because if you guys don't know what a black is, it's a black and mild. And I was like, "Can I tap your black?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we outside exchanging, talking, and everything. And I introduced myself, and I was like, "Are you new?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm just like, "Okay, see you inside," kind of, sort of. And I asked him what days he works, trying to get the scoop on him, blah, blah, blah. So it took about a couple of weeks, I guess, because we ended up getting together that same month, but whatever. It took a couple of weeks. He told me that he had just got out of a relationship and he didn't want a relationship, but he was talking to somebody, and I'm just like, "You're going to be mine. Like, I know what I want. You're what I want. I mean, I don't know what other situationships you've been in, but I'm that one for you." So after we started working, I started calling him Curly Top. My husband, when I met him, he had really short, curly, really tight curly hair. So his name was Curly Top for like the whole time. Like, "Curly Top, where's my McDouble? Curly Top, I need a Big Mac. Curly Top." Like, it was just so cute. Um, it was to the point where girls that worked there seen that, how me and him was interacting, and they started trying to call him my nickname that I call him. Like, girl, no. So, fast forward, we ended up making it official October the 20th, because I think I kind of touched bases in this about this story, how we got together. I touched bases on that in a whole nother video, but yeah. So we got together October the 20th of 2013, and he met my family like 2 months in. I met his family. I didn't meet his whole family, but I met like his mom and stuff. Um, I moved in with him December the same year, so we wasn't together long before we moved in together. And then we decided to, after living with him and his cousin for a little while, we decided to get our own place. By this time, I didn't go back to school. I just wanted to be with him. I wanted to, get out of my mom's house and, be on my own. And plus, the school that I was going to, I didn't really like it. And then me and him was hitting it off so well that I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to leave that behind if it could have been something better, because I don't do good with long distance relationships. I mean, I do, but at that time, I didn't have no transportation, stuff like that. So I knew that it was going to be like a flop. Anyways, so we ended up moving into our own place. And by this time, we was together for like 4 or 5 months. We got the dates that we got together in the first 5 months of us going together. We got that tattoo on our legs. I just knew for a fact that I wanted to be with him. We sat down, we talked about like what was our goals, like getting to know each other. What was our goals in regards to relationship wise, stuff like that. Like what were our kind of goals? I told him, I wanted to get married and all that. Not so soon, but his take on marriage, he didn't never think that he was going to get married. So his take on marriage was that he didn't want to get married for 5 years. Me personally, in my state of mind, if we're living together, it's okay to, me be your girlfriend for 5 years and we're living in different houses. You feel me? But if I'm living with you, I don't feel like I'm going to be a living girlfriend for 5 years. That's just not me. She was just not going to do that. So, I had said, okay, well, by the first 2 years, you should know where you want our relationship to go. Whether or not you want to see full long term with me, or whether or not we're gonna part our ways, because I'm not finna stay in a relationship with no 5 years with no ring and live with you and do all the little wifely duties and all that. I'm just not. It's not me. It's not happening like that. Because I'm not trying to waste my time. If you don't see no growth into where you want to do, it's no point in us being together. Like, that's how I saw it. But as time went on, I got really comfortable with the idea of being with him for 5 years before marriage and all that, and living together and all that. Because the simple fact of, when you starting to grow an attachment on somebody and love on them and stuff like that, you start to get comfortable with the ideas of things. Excuse me. Gotta sneeze. Whew. Excuse me. That's another thing that's been happening since I've been pregnant. Anyways, um, that's you get used to that. So fast forward about 6 to 7 months in our relationship, he started bringing back up the marriage situation. I had let it go, but he had started bringing it back up. And I was just like, stop joking with me. He was like, what if we laying in bed one day? He's like, what if I say, babe, I want to get married, blah, blah, blah. What would you say? And by this time, I'm just like, are you serious? I'm like, bruh, of course I would say yes, but, I don't want you to marry me, because it was a stigma. Let me just put that out there. My family is really religious, from like a non-denominational Pentecostal Baptist type background. So they don't believe in living with each other before marriage. And my grandmother is a preacher. So yeah, that did not fly right in my family. But I told him that I didn't want him to feel like he had to marry me just because of that. Yes, and I was in a church where I was a singer, I was a praise dancer, and when it got out that I had my own house and I had my own apartment, but I wasn't living there by myself, and I was living there with my boyfriend, yeah, they really shunned down on me at the church, which I feel like can't nobody judge, because yeah, it's a whole lot. But yeah. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm struggling with pregnancy brain. Hopefully, the person that requested this video, hopefully this is to your liking, because I'm struggling with pregnancy brain right now and I'm extremely tired. And I will fill you guys in on my life update after this video. But let's get back into the story time. So, so basically, he's like, no, it will be because I love you, and this, and the third. It will be because, I want to get married and stuff like that. So I was just like, yeah, I would say yes, of course. But I wasn't really thinking about it no more after our first conversation of us trying to get to know each other and, learning each other. Even though we moved in pretty quick, a lot of people was looking at us like, dang, y'all relationship is moving hella quick. And in the beginning of our relationship, it was more of a best friend forming. Like, even though he was my boyfriend and I was his girlfriend, we didn't quite know each other just yet. So we were making a best friendship to getting to know each other. Um, so he just became everything to me. He just became my best friend. He just became my confidant. He just became everything to me. So, yeah, so time went on. So around, I'll say, August, around August of 2014, we're at the mall. We went on a date. We walking around, and whatever the case may be. We're walking around. So I'm like, what is going on? So um, we go into Zales first. I never forget. And we go over to like the little sets that has the husband's band, my engagement ring, and the band. So I just start freaking out, like, what are we doing? He's like, oh, we're window shopping and this, that, and third. So he made up this whole thing about how we're gonna try to get, jewelry credit cards just to buy each other stuff, blah blah blah. So he tried it, it got denied. I tried it, I got denied at Zales. So I kind of had an idea, but I still wasn't like quite sure if this is what was going on. So then we kept walking around the mall, and the mall that we was at is a really nice mall. It's here in my hometown. It's the Short Pump Mall, so it was a really nice mall that we went to. So we're walking around. So we hit K Jewelers, y'all. So we will go in. He tries to get it, got denied. I get it, and I got approved. And I had a really nice limit that I got approved for. And next thing you know, he turns around and he looks at me and he's just like, "Go pick out your rings." And I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude? Like, are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm just like, "Wait, we're getting married?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're getting married." And I'm just like freaking out in the store, like, oh my God, like crying and stuff like that. Like, I'm really freaking out. So I picked my rings. And of course, it's this one. And right now, I don't have my band. I have to get it replaced because I lost it the almost the year after we got married. I lost my band. I That's a whole nother story. My heart had just collapsed, but it's just a material thing. To show our love, it doesn't define our marriage, but also it lets these, know that don't step to me. Anyways, so it was a pretty nice experience. I ended up getting my rings back later on that month. They were just sitting really nice and pretty and everything. And, you know, to me, I thought we were going to be engaged for like 1, 2, 3 years. I was just happy that, he gave me a ring. Next thing you know, um, I had it in my mind, like when we was gonna get married. We were supposed to get married December of the following year, but then he changed it. We laying down, we was talking. He was like, "Babe, what if I tell you that I want to get married sooner than what we talked about?" And I'm just like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "I want to get married on our anniversary," and I'm just like, "When of next year?" Like, I hit him with that, and he's just like, "No, I don't feel like, what's the point in waiting? We're about to be together for a year. I don't feel like you're going to go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere." So, yeah. So, I'm just like, okay, if you say so. I'm still like in shock. I really don't. I still didn't really think that it's hitting me or whatever. So, next thing you know, we told my parents and everything. On his birthday, September the 9th of 2014, he proposed and we got married on our anniversary, um, October the 20th of 2014. So we really wasn't together that long before he decided, like, hey, I know what I want to do. So that's my story of how me and my husband met and how we got married. Trust and believe, like, marriage is hard. It was hard in the beginning. It was really, really hard. We done had struggles, we done had trials, we done had tests. But I feel like because of my maturity level and his maturity level, we're able to um, get through even the roughest times in our relationship. So that is my story on my teenage marriage. Um, I'm currently now 22 years old, and he is 27 years old. So we've been together about 4 years. It'll be 4 years this month. So that's why I was happy that I got a request to do this video, and it's certainly the only right thing to do. Being this is our anniversary month for both us being together and our wedding anniversary, and we've been married for 3 years. And we have a little bundle of joy coming next year, either February or March. So we are through the roof right now and overly ecstatic. So I hope, I can't think of your name right now, but I hope you really, 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 really enjoyed this story time. If you really want me to go, like, if you have like any more questions about my teenage marriage, I'll be happy to do another video for you. But this was just the gist of my teenage marriage and how it happened and everything else. It has not been all peaches and cream. Trust and believe, y'all. It has not been all peaches and cream, but with the man that I'm with, it is certainly worth it because I love him, and I just can't think any other better person that I would rather be with other than my husband. So and that's it, y'all. So stay tuned, and I will be back for my pregnancy update and my life update to let you guys know what I have been up to, y'all, because y'all need to know. Toodles.